I'm gonna make this pencil disappear.
To say the least, the Joker is one of the most charismatic supervillains across DC and Marvel simply because of his dedication towards throwing even the most well-prepared heroes off balance. A true agent of chaos and anarchy, the Joker gives a strange meaning to his name, but it's not just wits and schemes that make him the iconic symbol of villainy. This dude, with his pale white skin, green hair, and a red Glasgow smile, has a unique physiology. He's actually a victim of an extremely rare disease, and at the same time, he's immune to toxins, poisons, and fear itself. In this video, we will explore all these aspects and dive into the 12 anatomical facts that make the Joker stand apart from the rest of the supervillain crowd. Let's begin, shall we? Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Hello, Gotham. Joker's back in town.
Number 1. How did Joker become Joker? Let's explore the one major origin stories. The Clown Prince of Crime had a major retelling of his story when Joaquin Phoenix and director Todd Phillips collaborated together to create the Joker. The film gave Joker an extremely interesting and organic origin story, something that is equal parts believable and iconic. Not only does the film try to give the audience an insight into the unhinged mind of the criminal, but it also tries to make us sympathize with the character. And yet, this was just another rendition of Joker's original story. So, what exactly is the reason why Joker tells so many different origin stories to so many different people? Well, his past changes according to the person he's dealing with. Naturally, he invents stuff so that he can better manipulate them. So, it's no surprise that the Clown Prince of Crime is also Gotham City's biggest agent of chaos. And now, let's explore the major origin stories. Red Hood, aka the Joker. In issue 168 of Batman Volume 1, it turns out that Batman has started taking classes on criminology. In the class, Batman narrates the story of Red Hood, another DC villain whom Batman was after. They fought one night at Ace Chemicals' plant a decade ago, but Red Hood managed to escape. However, investigation later revealed that Red Hood was in fact the Joker, who goes on to explain his origin. So Joker used to work for one of the labs at Ace Chemicals, but he grew tired of working and wished to retire. So he stole $1 million from the Monarch playing card company. In a bid to escape, Joker jumped into a pool of chemical waste, but the process transformed his physical appearance. His skin became pale white, his lips turned blood red, and his hair went green. But instead of loathing his new attire, the Joker learned to appreciate, embrace, and make the most of the situation he was in. Thus began Joker's journey in the world of crime, which he committed for nothing but personal joy. Number 2. Is Joker's blood poisonous? In Batman Arkham Asylum, Bane gets his strengths from a compound named Venom. The compound was later worked upon by a scientist named Dr. Penelope, who created another compound called the Titan. The project was funded by Joker as an alias of Jack White. However, when Penelope learns the true identity of her patron, she tries to destroy the research. But since it has already reached the production stage, Joker manages to take an overdose of Titan, which gives him immense powers for a limited period of time and transformed him into a powerful monstrosity. However, the Titan's effect on Joker's already messed up blood, which was due to continual exposure of toxins, led to the reaction that left the Joker's blood poisonous even for himself. The combined effects of the Titan and the exotic chemicals in his blood made it so hazardous that it killed anyone who came in contact within a span of 24 hours. Apart from this, Joker's blood is known to kill the mosquito that drank the blood of someone who had Joker's blood in their veins. In Batman and Robin issue 14, Damian Wayne was paralyzed after coming in contact with just a few drops of Joker's blood. Number 3. The Joker's medical condition is in real life Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. In the awesome and amazing Arkham games, Joker's disease is called Jokeritis, or the Mad Clown disease, which is most certainly a play on the mad cow disease. So was the Joker suffering from a bovine disease? Did a mad cow bite him? Well, no. In all probability, the Joker suffers from a version of the mad cow disease that's contracted by at least one human in a million per year. Well, that disease is called Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, which was named after German neurologists named Hans Gerhard Creutzfeldt and Alphonse Maria Jakob. Yeah, the last names. The disease leads to something called spongiform encephalopathy. Well, encephalopathy basically means a disease of the brain, and spongiform is what the disease does to the brain. Yes, the CJD causes the brain to transform into a sponge-like substance, with holes and all of that. So you can actually understand the effect such a disease would have on the subject's personality, body, and mind. The symptoms of CJD include Joker-like traits such as behavioral changes, involuntary body movements, etc. Now we know for a fact that Joker goes through bouts of uncontrollable laughter and changes in behavior. Another major symptom of this rare malady is dementia, which explains exactly why Joker has so many different origin stories and why he cannot stick to just one true origin. So how is someone infected with CJD? Well, there could be several reasons, including the transfer of bodily fluids. But what about someone diagnosed with CJD who never came in contact with an infected party? Well, CJD can manifest itself in the form of defective or infective proteins, which are also called prions. Prion is basically the amalgamation of the words protein and infection. Infectious prions are misfolded proteins that can cause normally folded proteins to also become misfolded. Unfortunately enough, the disease is fatal and there's no known cure yet. I believe that Joker's brain already had prions prior to his exposure to the Titan. Once that happened, the prions began to mutate, and the disease became fatal for the Joker.
Breathe, David. Breathe.
Number 4. Joker's body is immune to the Joker toxin and other poisons. Before we go into the question of Joker's immunity against the Joker toxin and other poisons, let's quickly explore what the Joker toxin actually is. Well, it's a toxin that Joker probably synthesized using Scarecrow's fear toxin that leads the subject to go into bursts of uncontrollable laughter. In non-lethal doses, the toxin forces the facial muscles of the subject to stretch, forcing them to have an involuntary grin, while in lethal cases, the toxin can straightaway kill the person because they laugh so much that it becomes impossible to breathe. Furthermore, prolonged exposure to Joker toxin may cause a person's brain to get permanently damaged, which is what happened with the Joker himself. He has been abusing various chemicals and poisons in a dedicated manner for quite many years, which has made him immune not only to his own toxin, but to several other poisons, which basically becomes one of his superpowers. I guess that one's up to Batman, whose only superpower is being rich. Or is it? Joker toxin has several names, such as Happy Gas, Giggle Gas, Smilex, etc. In Batman the Animated Series and spin-offs like Batman Mask of Phantasm, Joker uses his gas quite often. In fact, he once killed the entire audience of a talk show using the infamous gas. In Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker, an elderly version of Bruce Wayne was attacked using gas. In fact, some people believe that the smoke grenade that the Joker uses in Nolan's The Dark Knight was actually filled with Joker's toxin.
Never start with the head. The victim gets all fuzzy. You can't feel the neck.
Number 5. Joker has a very high pain tolerance. No matter what you say about the Joker, this guy knows how to take a punch. In Dark Knight, he served as Batman's grade A punching bag and even gave him tips on how to begin the torture. Well, that's our good old Joker, never shying away from guiding a friend in a cowl. The Joker's sadomasochistic traits, coupled with the incredibly high pain threshold, make him a ruthless ball of atrocities. He's not one I would call strong, but he can wear his opponent down until it's time to land the final blow. Unfortunately for him, Batman also has a great threshold for pain, and he's someone who never backs down. In Tony Daniel's Detective Comics #1, the Clown Prince of Gotham pulled a stunt that you'd expect from a Cenobite from the Hellraiser films. So, he hired the doll maker, another super weird guy, to flay his face as a part of his plan to literally get under the skin of his enemies. So how is it that this guy can bear legions of pain inflicted on him when Batman breaks his bones, drops him from buildings, or when Joker has concussions and lacerations? Well, it's not been confirmed, but it could very well be the side effect of him falling into that cursed vat. So the next time that the Joker knocks on your doorstep, do not engage in a brawl and run, because no matter how hard you hit him, he will have the last laugh, or maybe the last blow. Wait, that came out wrong. Anyway, just because he's capable of taking so much pain, is he immortal?
Mr. J's on the rebound, baby!
Number 6. Is the Joker immortal? Even though movie studios aren't really fans of crossovers, and we may never get to see an Avengers vs. Justice League movie, crossovers are spread all over the place in the world between the pages of comic books. I mean, there are not only comics where Batman has fought against the Xenomorphs, there are comics where Tin and Predators have collided. Likewise, in one such crossover, the Dark Judges from the Judge Dredd universe made a deal with the Joker. The Dark Judges, like Judge Death, cannot be killed because they are basically undead beings. Naturally, they were imprisoned for eternity. However, the Joker made a deal with them and offered their freedom in exchange for his immortality. But the Joker didn't exactly get what he had bargained for, and the Dark Judges turned him into one of their own, calling him Judge Joker, someone who killed people by laughing. Yeah, just by laughing. But Joker got bored of the whole kill to laugh thing and returned to Earth as a human being. Furthermore, in the 2000 film Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker, it was revealed that although Joker was killed by Tim Drake, aka Robin, he lived through a microchip built with genetic technology and would have taken over Drake had it not been for Terry McGinnis and Bruce Wayne.
Grandma.
Enough from the clown!
Let's not blow.
Number 7. How intelligent is the Joker? Some sources say the Joker's intelligent quotient is about 160, while Batman's is 192. However, does IQ represent the complete picture? I mean, is a great painter or a poet less intelligent than a software engineer just because his IQ is lesser? The point here is there are several parameters that one could gauge someone's intelligence with, and it has nothing to do with the test. Having said that, of course an IQ test is a great way of gauging intelligence. All I'm saying is, it's probably not the only way. Nevertheless, it's basically settled that Batman is probably more intelligent than the Joker, because Batman has always managed to see through the Joker's plans, no matter how well conceived and how well planned such plans might have been. But that doesn't answer just how intelligent the Joker is. So let's cut to the chase. To begin with, Joker is extremely unpredictable and crazy. Despite that, he's called the criminal mastermind of Gotham City, the very clown prince of crime, and I don't think that there's a king he bows down to. So, in spite of his psychopathology, he's able to maintain his intelligence and pens down the most complicated of plans and plots. His schemes often include a lot of manpower and diversions, the sheer logistics of which cannot be maintained by any normal person. He pulls his threads just enough to serve as a worthy and almost equal opponent to the Silent Guardian, which in itself is an achievement like no other. To match the world's greatest detective, one has to be the world's greatest criminal, right? Let's take a look at Nolan's Dark Knight. Heath Ledger's Joker went above and beyond any person's limits to make Batman choose between the love of his life and Gotham's White Knight. Hell, he turned the White Knight into an epic villain. Think about it. He was so potent with his schemes that he completely transformed the good old Harvey Dent's psyche into that of a supervillain. Furthermore, Joker is feared by other villains of the DC universe. Why do you think that is? It's definitely not because of the Greek god physique that the Joker has, but because of just how unpredictable, manipulative, and devious this clown guy is. Number 8. Joker in Ra's al Ghul's famously infamous Lazarus Pit. In the 145th issue of Batman Legends of the Dark Knight, Batman is faced with an uncanny situation and the greatest dilemma of his life, whether to let the Joker die and end the menace once and for all, or save him in order to save innocence. But how did it come to this point? In the comics, Joker teamed up with Ra's al Ghul to unleash a contagion that would wipe out most of the world's population. However, Joker betrayed Ra's al Ghul, which isn't exactly a surprise. But then again, Joker gets shot at least 8 times in the chest and abdomen as punishment. Ra's al Ghul leaves Joker for dead until Batman finds him. Batman finds the lair empty with Joker breathing his last, and he knows that the two of them are concocting something morbidly evil for the world to witness. Batman had only one option, saving the Joker by dipping him in the Lazarus Pit. But what is the Lazarus Pit? To put it simply, the Lazarus Pit is more of a supernatural phenomenon that has some amazing amazing powers. It can heal injuries, bring back the dead, and even grant immortality, which it does in the case of Ra's al Ghul. So, Batman creates the concoction and dips the Joker into it. And although the Lazarus Pit makes the user overtly aggressive and violent, it has the opposite effect on the Joker, making him docile and repentant of his past actions. Joker told Batman about the plans he had hatched with Ra's and the means to stop Ra's, but the effect of the pit faded off soon, and Joker was back to his normal psychopathic self.
Oh, Harley, I couldn't leave you on the boat. I need you for this.
Number 9. Can the Clown Prince of Crime reproduce? The original canon, and even the prevalent one, depict Harley Quinn and the Joker having an extremely abusive relationship in which Joker uses and misuses Harley for his personal gain and to further his elaborate criminal plans. However, that's not quite the case as far as the Arkham games and the DC Extended Universe are concerned. In both these sources, the two of them share a rather cordial relationship, at least as cordial as the relationship between Mr. J and Miss Quinn could be. In fact, they even seem to show some degree of love and compassion for each other. In Batman Arkham City, Harley can be heard singing a lullaby long after Joker was dead. Furthermore, at the beginning of the game, eagle-eyed players noticed a positive pregnancy test in one of Joker's lairs. However, in the DLC Harley Quinn's Revenge, it is revealed that it was merely a ploy by Harley Quinn to deceive the caped vigilante. However, in the Injustice Gods Among Us story arc, Harley Quinn tells the Black Canary about a daughter she had with Joker, but she kept it hidden from the Clown Prince. And of course, there's Duella Dent, the non-biological daughter of Joker. Interestingly, and maybe disgustingly enough, one of the recent arcs of the DC Comics has the Joker himself get pregnant because of a witch. I don't know if it's a stunt by DC to woo the LGBTQ readers, but he delivers the baby by throwing up. I am not giving it any more respect by talking about it further. Number 10. Joker had the power to bend reality. In the 160th issue of the comic Superman, Emperor Joker vs. Superman, Mr. Mxyzptlk, the supernatural trickster from the 5th dimension, wished to see what would happen if a human had his powers, so he chose to donate 1% of all of his powers to Joker. But as would be expected, Joker instead tricked Mr. Mxyzptlk into giving away 99.9% of the powers, which made Joker an omnipotent and omniscient being with all the powers imaginable. Mr. Mxyzptlk is essentially a Superman villain, but since Joker appeared in a Superman comic, it was natural for the Joker, instead of Mr. Mxyzptlk, to give Superman a bad day. Joker gained the power to bend reality and control the very fabric of time, making Lex Luthor die again and again and yet again, and devouring all of the Chinese as many times as he wished. In fact, he gave the entire world a makeover in just 69 seconds. That's an interesting choice of a number. However, despite all his powers, he couldn't do away with the watchful protector of Gotham. Number 11. Joker once merged with Sabretooth. During the events of DC vs. Marvel, the two populations of these two worlds were fused together to create the Amalgam Universe, and also merged with the heroes and villains of these universes. One such mashup was seen between Joker and Sabretooth, which resulted in the creation of a supervillain named Hyena. Naturally, Hyena is neither a part of DC Universe nor of the Marvel Universe, but he's a vicious villain nonetheless, with an abundance of powers from both the supervillains. Hyena has powers such as an accelerated healing factor and retractable claws like Sabretooth. He also had exceptional strength because of Sabretooth and agility because of Joker's lean physiology and fighting skills. Man, this guy was insane as hell. I mean, Joker is insane already, but Sabretooth brings his feral nature into Hyena, while the Joker has an extremely gifted skill for strategy. Sabretooth is a veteran of several wars, which makes Hyena a tactical genius. All in all, Hyena would be more than a match for Logan Wayne, another amalgamation created by the Amalgam Universe.
Are you sweet-talking me?
Number 12. Joker uses tattoos as mementos on his body. Although nothing like this could be said about Joaquin Phoenix's character from the movie Joker, Jared Leto's portrayal of the character, on the other hand, has several tattoos, and many of these are confirmed to be mementos. On the other hand, some of these were designed to reflect the character's personality and backstory. For instance, the much frowned upon, damaged tattoo on his forehead represents his deteriorated mental state and his identity as an outcast and criminal. He has got a smiling mouth tattoo on his hand, which is nothing short of a representation of his love for anarchy and a twisted sense of humor. Of course, the Joker tattoo on his arm is more of a display of his narcissistic side and a display of his identity and the way he functions. The ha tattoo on his arm is self-explanatory and a nod to his famous laughter. But among the more interesting tattoos is Allison written on his left arm, which is in memory of his ex-girlfriend. Then there's a stabbed bat. No surprises there. There's a pretty blunt tattoo of a bird with its chest pierced, which is a reminder of the things he did to Robin. All in all, these tattoos are a reflection of his chaotic and unpredictable nature. This guy knows very well that he's a supervillain, and he goes all in when doing something macabre. Which other tattoos are you familiar with? Do let us know in the comments, and feel free to drop your questions, suggestions, and corrections. We'd be happy to answer them. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, and be safe. Thanks, everyone.